this computer. So welcome everyone to Woman Empowering Woman. Hi Judy, how are you? My co-host and Gabriela Daughtry, which hasn't renamed her name down there, so she's using her husband's name. So Gabby, Judy, you guys are amazing hosts for these Woman Empowering Women and the women that are building this movement of Woman Empowering Woman. Claudia, thank you, because you're like now starting to become core. Heidi, you are pretty much here every Monday, so we appreciate that. Shyrley, I know that with you, with your Wi-Fi and everything, but you pretty much also. So as we continue to grow, this is a movement that we have created so that women find a space where they can actually support, empower, and motivate each other through the Facebook page that we have. So if you're not in the Facebook page and you're watching this video later on in YouTube or social media, make sure that first of all you go to our Woman Empowering Woman for Life. And this is a place that only for distributors or leaders of For Life. This is a space where anybody and any woman can actually be. We would like to invite any woman on any field, not only network marketing. And the fact that we have named it Woman Empowering Woman for Life is because that's what we should do for life, for the rest of our lives, which is empower each other. So what we want is to create a Facebook page where you find encouragement, where you find motivational quotes, but you also find true and real motivational stories. And so that's why we have created our space where we're going to have at least once a month or even bi-weekly women telling us their story of success. Again, maybe most of them will be network marketers, but if there's a realtor out there, if there's a nurse or somebody that has inspired you, nominate her to be the next speaker. And so we're going to start doing some, nominate the woman that inspires you so we can, put her to tell us how she became successful. Success is not only about, creating big teams in network marketing, which is our field, but creating to be an inspiration for others. So you want to nominate your mom who is 80? Hey, if she's ready to create a video for us and inspire us, we're going to do that too. So that's what Woman Empowering Woman is. And we, as I said, Judy and Gabriela are only the creators, but we are just hosting this. This is your movement, ladies. This is your movement. This is the movement where you're the one that is going to actually find the space to feel inspired and invite other women in your team or in your life or even a friend that has been feeling down to come and listen to what's happening. And because we chose it on Monday, it's because Monday is the hardest day for women. I believe, my opinion, is that we are ready to let everybody know that we can take the world, but after we have served breakfast, gotten the kids out to school, taking care of the mom at the doctor's appointments, taking the dog and the cat to the vet, and at that time, Monday starts like, I don't know if I'm going to take the rest of the week because we have finished and we have not even started taking time for ourselves. If you have a job and you're running a second income or an additional income, another business, then the problem continues because you think that you're never going to have enough time to create that dream of yours or create that fortune, that second income, and then you just pile up the to-do list and end up not doing what you need to do. So this is the space where we say, yes, you can. And as Gabby created for me a hashtag, and I said, I want this to be a hashtag for women, for us. Gabby is an international success. Her and her husband have built a business of over 500,000 plus distributors around the world in over 98 countries. They actually have distributors in pretty much every For Life country. But she said to me one day, well, anybody can do it. Why not you? So our hashtag is actually why not you? And every woman that has inspired us lately, Jacinta in Kenya or Anna here in the States, that we have videos from these ladies. Today we have Shyrley. And Shyrley is got a special spot in my heart because I am from Canada. And Shyrley, Dr. Shyrley Buemberguer, she'll tell you a little bit about the doctor part, is an international diamond from Canada, but she's actually Colombian. So when I wrote my little presentation, I said she's been building this around the world because she started in Colombia, came to Canada, and now she's traveling North America with her husband, her dog, and her cat in a motorhome, building and just inspiring us. So before I continue introducing Shyrley to let her tell her story, Judy, do you have a welcome for the team and for the people that are watching this video?
Well, I'm just so happy to see everybody on, and I hope that you'll tell your friends about this meeting so that they'll start really joining us. And Shyrley, I'm so excited to hear what you have to say, because you're doing just what I want to do. I want to get me an RV and hit the road. So we'll have to follow each other around the country.
That's true. Perfect. Gabby, do you have a welcome for everybody that is watching us?
Yes, good morning. Welcome everybody to joining us, I guess this afternoon or this morning, depends on where you are. But yes, we have been very, very fortunate and blessed to be, to have a big, huge downline. And one thing from the 20 years that we've been involved with For Life, you need to communicate with your leaders. If I'm going to give you any kind of advice, is when you connect with your leaders and you develop a friendship with them, and you help them build with ideas or I don't know, just they tell you what their struggles are, and because you've gone through those struggles, or because they are struggles. I mean, this business isn't easy, okay? But it's worth it, okay? I'm going to tell you this. When you have that kind of relationship with your downline, they're not going to go anywhere, okay? They're not going to go to another company because their other friend talked them into joining. So, and I'm only saying this because your downlines can, like sometimes people go, I can't, like they'll buy from me, they'll sign up and they'll buy, but then they won't buy anymore. And I'm like, well, connect with them, talk with them, follow up with them, remind them, hey, you need so many life points to qualify for this or that, or how about we got this new app, or just tell them all the tools we have. So my tip for the day, I guess, is share with your distributors. Maybe they don't know we have these new apps because they didn't go to convention. So you might want to share this information with them, because, I mean, this new app we have, it's great. It's so user-friendly. It's made for, basically, because we have our smartphones. It's made for your smartphone. So you can share your business and you can sign up people so much easier now. So, and stay in contact with your leaders. Your leaders also need to join these calls. But one-on-ones would be nice. Or maybe you can do a Skype call, or, you know, share this page with them too, the Women Empowering Women. Share a motivational video that you saw on YouTube. Just connect, just inspire them, because, you know, they'll remember you for that. And then, I don't know, I just feel that's what we need to also share with each other. Like I see some people post on the Women Empowering Women Messenger. I think that's great. When you guys have either a health crisis or that you're stuck on something, I mean, gosh, you know, we all have something to share and help each other. Anyway, go ahead, Claudia. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Okay, that is perfect. Gabby, who is my upline, has been incredible, both Dave and Gabriela, but I found that the woman connection was something that I really needed. Dave, being the amazing leader that he is, you know, he's still, I can't talk to him like I talk to Gabriela. So there is that thing where Women Empowering Woman has a different effect when your friend, your upline, your crossline, the person that is supporting you and cheering you is actually a woman, because you can go a little deeper into things like, you know, if my child is sick, I never used to tell my upline, my male upline, which is Dave Daughtry, my child is sick and this and that, because it just didn't seem appropriate. But with my upline, so Gabriela is different. She's on everything about my family, and this is what builds great organizations. When you trust and you love each other, you do anything for each other. So with no further ado, I would like to present our speaker of the day. She is a woman, like I said, that I met a few years ago, maybe about 3 years ago, and they have, her and her husband inspire me in so many ways. They're very young, very active, but she also has a lot of struggles. And so a lot of people see the good side and all her videos that she did on YouTube. I want maybe her to touch a little bit on that subject. She trained fearlessly thousands of people without ever caring if they were in her downline or not, and in Spanish. And so she did, I don't know, hundreds of videos with thousands of views, and she never cared. She said, as long as it's out there, I'm training. But that helped her get more recognition and a good reputation of where she was standing by being that trainer that she was. So Shyrley, Dr. Shyrley, tell us about you. I'm going to mute. If you're not muted, you can mute yourself, and let's listen.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I want to apologize in advance for my broken English. During these past months, I have been talking a lot of Spanish, so my English is not really good right now, but I hope that you get all my point. As Claudia say, I'm from Colombia. I'm veterinary doctor, actually. I studied there because my dream was to help animals, because I all the time love to be around animals, to help them. I was like, I have that like, is vocation right? How is that word right? Vocation? Okay. So I have that vocation to help the ones that don't have voice. So that's why I decided to study veterinary medicine. And when I go out to the field, like when I go out to find a job, I start discovering that life is not that beautiful dream that at the university or our college they show you, know. I was dreaming of to be one of those veterinary doctors that appear in Animal Planet, that you are going to be traveling everywhere and you're going to be working with amazing and fantastic animals. But then that didn't happen. In Colombia, veterinary medicine is super different than in here. So actually in Colombia, we are the groomers of the dogs. So everybody was telling me, like, when you're going to get your degree, so when are you going to open your store so I can take my dog there and you can groom my dog? And it was like, I studied for 5 years or more not to be a groomer. I'm a doctor, actually. So I didn't see any topic in my degree to be a groomer. So that was super frustrated, because I start like moving in that way, that the only thing to make money as a veterinary doctor in Colombia is to groom a dog. So that was super frustrated, and by that time I was looking for different jobs and I couldn't find, because it's really hard to find a job in there, and especially to get really well paid for a job. So as a veterinary doctor in Colombia, my income was like, let's say $20 per day, not hour, per day, which is really low. So it's not even close to the amount of money that I pay for my degree, to get my degree. It was a lot of money that my parents pay in order to help me achieve that success, no? That if you study hard and if you get good degrees and if you get a good job, you're going to have success, because that's what people used to tell you, no? That's the way. But I always have in my heart that small sparkle that say it's another way. Life is not always in that way that people are always telling you to be. So I am super grateful, because at that time I got really sick. I always had terrible allergies, but by that time I was awfully sick. I got like a transition asthma because of all of the stress, because I couldn't get a job. I was still living with my parents, and even if I want to go to watch a movie, I have to ask money from my father to go to see a movie. And I was 25 years old. I was so desperate because I really want to do something different. I want to impact the world in a different way. I didn't want to be famous or something like that. I just wanted to do something different that people get inspired of. So I was all the time looking on internet, like, how can I change my life in this point of the situation that I'm having right now? So I decide to apply for a scholarship to go to China. And I won the scholarship. So I was so happy because I was finally making that dream come true, to travel, to know another culture. And the bad point was that my scholarship just covered the tuition, didn't cover the manutention, like the living, no? So I was super happy, and I told my parents, like, hey, I got the scholarship and I want to go to China and blah, 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 blah. And they were like, we don't have money. How are we going to pay for you living there in China? So that was like my bottom point. That was when I really hard, I really crashed with life. That was my I'm sorry for the word, but that was my FLCK life. Why I just have been working really hard. Why? So at that moment was when I say money is never going to be a problem for me, never again. I'm going to do something different so I can achieve my dreams, but not because I have a lot of money. It's because I create different ways to get it. So I was really sick, so the universe worked and put transfer factor in front of me. So I start taking the products because I was really sick. At the beginning, I didn't believe in the system, multi-level system or marketing levels. I didn't believe in that at that moment. So I start taking the products and I start feeling really good. So I decide, like, okay, this product is really good. I start to reading a little bit about immunology and how I'm veterinary doctor. So I have a little bit of knowledge about jog, colostrum, and everything. So I decide to do a lot of research about how the product work and everything. And then I start doing the business. So that's when the adventure, the really adventure begins. When I start doing the business, I didn't have any money, so we have to pay in Colombia like a fee in order to subscribe to the company, which is really low. Let's say that is more or less like $25. So I asked my father if he can borrow me the $25 because I didn't have it. So he was like, okay, I'm going to give you the money, but you need to find a job. Actually, you need to try to find a job, a real job. So I enrolled with For Life and I started doing the business. I was living with my parents at that time, but I was feeling that the energy that I have in my house, that I had in my house, it wasn't a good energy for me to success in marketing business, because they were all the time telling me that you need to get a job. My father was all the time telling me, like, you don't need a job. I don't want you to get a job because in the house you have everything that you need. I'm not going to ask you for money or something like that. But that was actually a lot of pressure for me. It's like, I don't want to be living with you, not because I don't like it. It's because I want to be living because of the things that I made myself, that I achieved myself. So I decided to move from my parents' house. I was by that time doing For Life and my income was like $100 or something like that. So one of my friends, which is actually my upline in the business, and his wife, he told me, like, okay, if you need a place to live, you can come and live with us. But that time we were doing For Life together. So the three of us started living. I went to live with them, And we have really funny stories living together, and really hard times because they have a child in that time, and this precious child is a gifted child, so he needed a better education because he's gifted. So we had really hard times. They didn't have the money to pay the school. We didn't have money actually to pay like the rent, but we figured it out to do it. Sometimes we can just eat once per day because we didn't have money. But it was a really hard time that made us grow, that we can do it, we can do it. We keep dreaming, we can do it. We wake up every morning telling us that someday we're going to be in a better position, someday we're going to be doing the real things that we want to do, that these are the sacrifices that we have to do in order to get what we really want to do it. So it was a precious year for me living in there. Like I actually go really out of my comfort zone because I was in my precious parents' house, which is not a super big house. It's a regular apartment, just 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. But it was like a castle by that time because I have everything. I had my food, I have my bed, I have everything. So to be living with my friends, which is I have food once per day, I have my bed, but it was totally out of my comfort zone. So by that time I learned a lot, and I'm super grateful with them because they gave me the opportunity. As we say in Colombia, they gave me the hand to start doing, and I have to say that I'm here right now living this adventure is because of them, because they really trust in me that I'm a precious diamond, and they want to help me build myself. So after that, I got my diamond achievement, and then, but that time, my husband, was my boyfriend at that time, he didn't believe a little bit in the company, because we have an upline that he talked too much a little bit, so he was like, no, I don't trust in that company. But but that time when he started like seeing my success and everything, he decided to quit his job because he wanted to go to live in Australia. But then he decided, like, Australia is really far, I don't want to go there, I want to stay in here with you and start building the business with you. So we start doing the business, and then we got our presidential diamond achievement. We moved together and start doing everything, working as a partners, and a lot of adventures happens there. So the growth has been fantastic, and the process is really hard. It's really, really hard. But when you see the how do you say, when you see the Claudia, how do you say recompensa? Award?
The
Reward. That's the word, thank you. But when you see the reward at the end of the way is when you see that is worth it. It's fantastic. So we decided to start a new adventure. So we always wanted to live in another country. So China was not my destination. The universe didn't want me to go to China at that time. So Australia was super far too. And then we decided, why not Canada? Let's try Canada. And a friend of ours was telling us all the time, like, why not Canada? And we were like, no, we don't want to go to Canada, it's too cold. But we finally made it to Canada. And the thing is that we came as international students, which is pretty expensive. But we did it because we have that father that will be paid for us everything, and that father is for life. We did everything thank you to For Life. So everything that we have achieved right now is because of For Life. So we came to Canada as international students, and For Life pay for everything, and we keep doing our job, we keep doing our business online, helping each other. As Claudia say, I was training a lot of people online, doing my every week I was doing videos in YouTube, training, and still you can find some videos, all of them are in Spanish. But I have a lot of people that is writing me all the time, like, thank you for your videos, or asking me a lot of questions. Even in convention, I was like, walking there, and a person approached to me, and she was like, "Oh, you are Shyrley, Dr. Shyrley." And I was like, "Yeah, it's me." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you so much. Thank you for everything." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can't imagine how you can impact lives." And that's what I really wanted at the beginning. Sometimes I miss to be a veterinary doctor, but when I want to do it, you can't just be a volunteer or something like that. I don't need to be working straight 12 hours per day just to conquer my passion. So that's more or less a little bit of my history, how we traveled to Canada, how everything that we made was because of for life. For me, one of the hardest moments of my life was to actually get out of that comfort zone. I really know that I can do a lot of different things, and I can change the world, help change the world, help change people to have a better living, have, as we say, like have put a better breath on your table. Yeah, sharing with your family, sharing different moments. That for us, Mondays are always a holiday because we made it in that way. It's not work. It's you don't work when you actually love what you're doing. You're living your passion. So for me, it was really hard to get out of that comfort zone, but also helped me to see the world in a different way, to see that I don't want to be working every day of my life from 7 to 7 p.m., getting a really low income. Even though if I work in here as a veterinary doctor, I know that maybe I'm going to do a really good money, but I don't want money. I want to help others. I want to help people to see the world in the way that maybe we see it, to enjoy the world in the way that we are doing it right now. So I love Sebastian really much because he support me a lot. Hi, pretty. Because he support me a lot in everything that we decide to do it, and he always have crazy adventures that he wants to do, and sometimes he takes me out. Like I'm like I say that sometimes I dream a lot, but at the same time I'm like, no, we shouldn't do that. But he's like, yes, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. So he is like, sometimes he pushed me a little bit to conquer those dreams. Okay, so we finally got our permanent residence in Canada. It was hard because I have to go back to work as a veterinary doctor, which I really love. But it was really hard for me to have a boss again. I was living 5 years without a boss. I was my boss all the time. So if I wanted to wake up at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., it doesn't matter. I could do it. But at this time, so to have a schedule again, to have a lot of responsibilities, it was so hard for me. So again, I need to go out of my comfort zone in order to get our permanent residence visa here in Canada. So finally we did it. I need just to have an amount of hours in order to apply. So when I had the hours, I quit immediately. Like I have 10 extra hours just in case something happened. And then I decided to quit because I didn't want to work in that way. Even when I loved what I was doing, which is research in orthopedic medicine, um, I didn't want to have a boss. So I quit, and then we applied for our permanent residence visa, and we got it. So when we got it, my husband said, okay, so it's time to move on and to achieve this other dream that we have. So I'm going to move a little bit with you. I have to take the Wi-Fi with me. So he just started telling me about this dream that he had, and I was a little bit at the beginning, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable with that. But then I start reading and looking, and I want to show you my new house at this moment. Is that what Judy was talking about? So this one is our house. It's an old girl. She is a 93. It's a Toyota 93 Winnebago Warrior. And the most fantastic thing with this beautiful baby is that we can decide where are we going to wake up every morning. So this one was our morning today. We are in Lake Huron, which is Lake Michigan in the United States. And we are in here living this fantastic dream. So every morning for us is different. This is for me what I call success. This is for me, I don't want to be famous. I want this every day. I want this every morning. And if I can help everybody to achieve this too, that is the real success for me. That I can impact lives in a different way, that I can actually show everybody that if I do it, you can do it. If we did it, you can do it. And as Claudia say, why not you? You can be living this dream as we did, just believing with that you can do it. Just believing and dreaming with all the believing in you and believing that you have everything in your heart to do it. So if you want to work for something, you have to do it with all the strengths of your heart in order to get it. So this is more or less a little bit of us. We went to United States in January the 2nd. We start this adventure. We have been living in here for 5 months. We did a long trip in the United States. So we went from Canada to Florida and then to Utah convention. So we have a lot of people in there. Like we are really happy for everything that you have been doing. And we have a YouTube channel. It's called, in Spanish, is Desafío Nómada. So if you want to improve a little bit your Spanish, you can go there and watch a little bit of our inventions, how we renovate this place, because she was awful. When Sebastian showed me this place, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to live in there. It's awful. So how we renovate everything. So everything has work on it. It's not that we just bought it and start living in middle in there. No, we bought it and we have to build it as the way that we wanted to make it home, that we can call home this place. So that's a little bit of my history, a little bit of my memories. And I just want to tell you today that are watching this video, you can do it. It doesn't matter what is it. It doesn't matter your dream, but if you can imagine it, you can do it. If it's in your mind, you can do it. Just make it happen. You just need to work with your heart really hard. Just believe in what you have in your heart, and that strength is going to take you where you want to be. That's my advice.
That is amazing. I think you guys will agree that I had every single, word that I said about her. It was actually short because she made me cry through her story. So what I want to do is I want to open the floor for the people that are in this meeting today, so that we can ask her some questions. And you guys oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. So who's going to go first? Who's going to ask her some questions?
Well, I will. I would like to know, Shirley, when you said that you did these lessons, you did teaching videos, what were you teaching on? What were you going through, like presentations for life, or was there something else that you were teaching?
Well, actually, the videos were everything about everything. So at the beginning, it was just training in for life products. All the time was just training in for life products. But I started doing videos like motivational videos, like how to succeed, or how to, for example, keep your wise. Because sometimes people start doing this business because they want an extra income, which is good. But actually, you need to have a real why. Why are you going to do it? Yeah, you have to know why, which is the real purpose of having that extra income. Yeah. So I started doing a lot of that kind of videos, like my English is not working. Like, how to succeed, how to start dreaming. Because sometimes what people do is they just dream with the amount of money that they have in their pocket, and that is not a real dream. That is just what the situation makes you to believe in, but not that is not a dream. So I start like helping people to start changing that part of what we used to believe it was right. Because I was telling them like I'm retired, and but that time I was 28 years old and I'm retired. Yeah, so at this moment I'm 33 years old. We are international diamonds. My husband is presidential diamond, and at this moment he is playing PS4 on a Monday on his bed. So that's the kind of living that we really wanted to do, like impact lives, but at the same time living, because sometimes we are just working all the time. People think that having a lot of money, that's the meaning of success, but no, that is not the meaning for us. No, for us it's not the meaning of success. The meaning of success for us is that we can live and enjoy. For us, traveling is that success. So our training videos were about that. It's a lot of product information and a lot of motivational information too. All of them are in Spanish. I'm going to try to start doing in English, but I need to practice a little bit more my English, so it's going to be more natural.
Your English, you're doing great with your English.
Thank you so much. So if you want to share, I'm going to write you the YouTube channel for those videos. If you want to share, if you have people that speak Spanish, you can share, because we have a lot of information in there, a lot of videos.
That's really great. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I think that your story is just amazing. So.
Thank you.
I have a question, Shirley. Okay, so, I give my dogs transfer factor. I don't necessarily buy the transfer factor we have for the line of, the dog line. But, like, I open the capsule and put it in their dog food. So what do you recommend?
Yeah, it's the same that I do. Actually, my cats, they take transfer factor too, and they love just to lick it from my hand, and that's it. The puppy just eat the capsule without problem. So transfer factor regular, is the one that we gave them, because the plus has a little bit, is like bittersweet a little bit for them, so they don't like it too much. But the other one is fantastic, and I use them with the puppies. Sometimes I give them 1 or 2 depending on what they are doing. For example, the puppy just takes 2 capsules each day because she's going out all the time. She goes outside, so she takes 2 capsules per day. We had an awful accident with our cat. She jumped and she hurt really bad her back. So I gave her 6 capsules per day while she was in that stage of really hard pain, and it helped her a lot. So the products are fantastic for them. They love them. So if you want to give them 1 to 2 capsules per day, it's okay. Even if you want to give them 4 capsules per day, it's good too, depending on, for example, if you have a puppy with any kind of viral disease or something, if you want to give them the plus, you can do it. But if it's just for prevention, you can use the transfer factor trifactor formula. 2 capsules per day is good.
I also give them the probiotics. So, I mean, I feel it's important, especially when they change dog food. Sometimes you need to, because they get diarrhea for some reason. I don't know why, but it helps a lot. So it's okay to give them probiotics as well?
Yeah, the probiotics are really good for them too, because as us, they have good bacteria and bad bacteria, and sometimes the population of them, sometimes the population increase of the bad bacteria, and there is when some problems start to show. So it's really good, the probiotics for them too. You can give them without problem.
Okay, great.
I have a few more minutes if anybody else wants to do one more question, and if not, I have one. I just want to open the floor to anybody else before I do my last question.
I have a question. I have 2 actually. One is going back to the probiotics. Do you use probiotics or the new ones, probiotics.
Yeah. I
Pardon?
use a prebiotic. I mean, the actual the probiotics we used to have, the green ones in the bottle, the box, I mean, those are being discontinued.
That's what I'm saying.
The only ones that will get those are the markets that we haven't introduced the new one, the new prebiotic to. So
Okay,
I use the new probiotics we have, prebiotics. So
yeah, but the question is, it says there on the instructions that you shouldn't chew on them. How do you make a pet do that? Because I was just talking to a vet the other day, actually, and if I suggest the probiotics, how can I explain it to them?
Well, my dogs actually just wolf down their food. They don't really chew it.
Yeah,
they just kind of just scarf it up.
Yeah, and actually, because you can put the probiotics on your hand, and they are going to lick it because it's sweet, it's good, so they like it a lot. So you just put it on your hand, and they are going to lick it, and they are not going to chew it.
All right,
So,
great. And Shirley, thank you so much for sharing all the information. It was really a pleasure. My other question is going back to Canada. A lot of people say, and I know it's an objection, but a lot of people say it's very difficult to develop the business in Canada. What do you have to say about that?
well, I think that the difficulty is in your mind, actually. The business, we have been, I'm going to say in this way, like For Life has like 26 official offices open yet. But that time when we started in Colombia, it was just 3 years from the time that For Life opened the office there. So it was someone that started dreaming that they can make For Life open an office in that country, and that's why we have it in Colombia, because we have to be grateful to that person that had that dream to open the office in Colombia. So here in Canada, it's not difficult. Maybe it's because we haven't done as much as noise as we can to make For Life open the office here in Canada. So we need just to keep dreaming and keep doing. So we actually have the products in here. For Life send the products directly from Utah to Canada. So the difficulties are in your mind, and the other, not in your mind, Claudia, I mean in the person that is telling you. And the other thing is that this business is worldwide, and we have internet connection. So if we can't do it in one country, let's say that we can, we have a lot of countries with official offices there that we can use. We have a lot of countries, Europe, that we have a lot of official offices there. Even in South America we have. And so India, that speak English too. So everything is in here. All the possibilities are in here.
I thought there were, according to what someone said to me that lives in Canada, told me, I thought there were more restrictions to develop the business in Canada. But I'll take it the way it is, and that's fine. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the question.
Linda Emerson lives out on a farm in Canada, and she just made.
I know her. I met her.
So
yeah, I think that sometimes people get a little bit, because the shipping in here is a little bit expensive. So, but when you need an excuse, you're going to find it for sure. Okay. You're going to find it. So, because with a lot of different countries that they didn't have offices and the shipping are super expensive, they made it happen. So it's up to us, actually, I think.
Right. I agree. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, perfect, because we have 3 Canadians on this phone call live today, plus the ones watching on I'm streaming it live on my phone too. So Shirley, just to close, it's 12:52. I am so excited, so happy to, share this platform with you. For Shyrley, like she said, as long as she's using some of her Wi-Fi, which is very expensive from her own, motorhome. But normally she says, as long as I can get some Wi-Fi from some restaurant or from some place, I can do the business. And if not, I'll just pay for my own, which is very pricey, as you guys can imagine. Just to even, I thank her for using 1 hour of her Wi-Fi, because they have to use it wisely to get to all the thousands of people that they have in how many do you know how many countries you have in your organization under your team?
I haven't checked last month, but I think it's more than 27 countries.
So they have people in over 27 countries that they deal with. They do a lot. They have a strong online presence, and they're just a power team. I'm so blessed to have met them. They're so young, and they inspire me so much because they started this very young. So my last question to close it up is, where do we see?
I don't know what happened just then. I don't know what happened to Claudia, but.
Yeah.
You do inspire all of us, Shyrley, and thank you so much for everything that you have shared with us today. It's just been a blessing to us. I want to close. I want
all day, so you did a really good job.
You're really articulate, Shyrley, and to think that you're translating it into, you think you don't aren't translating properly, but you really did.
No, she did a really good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really happy that you have me today, and I really love to talk. That was another challenge actually for me, to talk in front of people, because I was the worst. It was really bad. Even at college, when I was doing my presentation about any topic for the university or something like that, my friends actually were like, oh my gosh, we're going to get a really bad degree because Shyrley has to talk. Because I was super nervous all the time. But at this moment, when somebody tell me do you want to do a presentation, or do you want to talk in front of a lot of people, I am so happy, because that's the way that I'm going to to have that small seed in the heart of the person that need it. Yeah. So I'm really happy that you have me, and I'm going to do how do you say parentheses, Claudia?
Parentheses.
Oh, good. So I'm going to do a parenthesis, and I have to really, really, really say thank you to Ana Maria and Alex, because I forgot to mention that on our way, we went to South Carolina, and they have us in their house. They opened their house as we were family and friends forever, and we are really, really thankful for that, because they were a part of our building this place. So they help us a lot. So this house doesn't have hands just of us. This house have hands of a lot of beautiful people that trust in us, and that have been putting more seeds in our hearts to continue growing. So I have to be very grateful for that. Anna, we love you so much, and thank you so much for having me in this fantastic meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm glad that I'm back just to close it up. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Please invite more people. We'll have another speaker just as wonderful and exciting as the ones that we have had. But please remember that this is a movement, and the movement cannot be just a few people, but a little candle firing, more candles. So invite somebody that you know, invite somebody that you want. You guys, a lot of you have big teams. Don't forget to tell them how to use Zoom, how to get inspired, so that they can hear these stories more and more, okay? So thank you, everybody, and I will see you soon. I will see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, yeah, she's writing. Okay, there we go.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Claudia, Heidi. Thank you, Shyrley. Love you. Thank you.